Playoff basketball waits for no man. Tuesday night, the NBA play-in tournament begins with a pair of games. First up, Hawks Magic, an Orlando team that actually won the Southeast Division despite just a 41-41 record. Trae Young has led Atlanta out of the play-in bracket 2 different times. And then Grizz Dubs loaded with star power. Steph and Jimmy Butler, Ja and Jaren Jackson. Since the Butler trade, Steph is averaging 27 points, 4 better than without Butler. Draymond Green says despite the mileage on the odometer, this team is ready.
We're not senior citizens. We're high-level basketball players. If we had to play tomorrow, we'd be all right. You train all year for this. So, yeah, this. No disrespect to the senior citizens, by the way. We love our senior citizens. Just throw that out there. But we ain't there yet, because we'd be just fine.
Three-time NBA champion Udonis Haslem joins us now on SportsCenter. UD, you heard still young Draymond Green. Given their play-in history with Memphis and Jimmy Butler's injury on Sunday, what are your expectations for the Warriors in this series?
Well, I agree with Draymond 1,000%. They are definitely not senior citizens. Even with Jimmy's injury and Steph's injury, I expect the Golden State Warriors to be firing on all cylinders. They're 3-1 this year against Memphis. The one game they did lose, Steph didn't play well, but I don't expect him to have 2 points again, especially with their backs against the wall in a game that they need to win, must-win game.
I said series, must-win game, like you said. Golden State, by the way, eyeing their 5th title in 11 seasons. Udonis, 20 years for you. In a Miami Heat uniform, your jersey hangs in the Kaseya Center, so we'd be remiss if we didn't ask you about them. In the play-in facing the Bulls for the 3rd year in a row, what's the key to getting out of Chicago with a win?
Well, first thing is, the hardest thing to do in this league is beat one team 4 straight times. So, Miami is 0-3 right now against Chicago. Chicago has played well against the Heat, but I think if the Heat can keep Chicago out of transition, don't turn the ball over, make it a half-court game, get it in the mud, and be able to pull it out at the end with their grit and their defense.
Get in the mud, make it an ugly series, and Udonis says Miami has a chance to come away with a win in this game. And for the record, Udonis was 3-1 head-to-head with Miami in the postseason against Chicago. No play-in matchup for the Lakers and the Wolves. They get the benefit of a full series. And from Luka to LeBron and Ant-Man to Julius Randle, this one could be special. Udonis, where is that series going to be won and lost?
I think it's going to be one with Ant-Man. I mean, he's going to give a maximum effort. He's got to be around 30 to 35 points a game. You need help from guys like Julius Randle. You need help from Rudy Gobert. You need Naz Reid to chip in. But I think this really is going to come down to how impactful Ant-Man can be on the offensive end and on the defensive end as well. He's going to have to take the challenge. He's going to have Luka. He's going to have LeBron. And if you remember, a couple years ago, Luka went into Minnesota and put on the show.
Indeed, he did. We started talking about age. Maybe we're ending with the younger Minnesota Timberwolves coming out on top. UD, hang tight, because there was a major shakeup again in Phoenix. We want to get your perspective on what's to come for the Suns.
Yeah, it's been a bad month for NBA head coaches named Michael who have won titles. Last week was Michael Malone getting fired. Today it was Mike Budenholzer. The Suns signed him last offseason to a 5-year, $50 million deal. Phoenix had the largest payroll in team history, but failed to even make the play-in. Sources say Budenholzer had trouble connecting with the team, starting with one of its best players, Devin Booker, and going down through the roster. Hopes were high in Phoenix entering the season, a win total of 48.5, 5th highest in the West. The reality was a 36-win season, including a 3-17 mark in games without Kevin Durant. The Suns had 20-1 odds to win the title, shorter than the likes of Cleveland, Houston, and the Lakers, and they didn't get close. So for the 3rd straight offseason, the Suns will be looking for a coach, and there could be a roster overhaul as well. Udonis, from your perspective, what's going to happen here in Phoenix with the Suns' big three?
Well, I know a little something about big threes, and the one thing I do know about a big three is when you put a big three together, you put that together to win championships. You have championship expectations. You don't want to go out in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd round. You want to be in the championship. Based on the way this went, you have to blow this team up. You have to start from scratch. You have to go out and see what you can get in the market for Kevin Durant, what you can get for Bradley Beal, and you build around your superstar in Devin Booker.
Yeah, all big threes are not created equal. The Suns 19-18 this season, basically a 500 team with their big three. That doesn't cut it. Udonis with his thoughts as some teams get ready for the playoffs and others start working on next season.
David, like New Orleans, where major changes coming. The Pelicans fired Executive VP David Griffin Monday after 6 seasons. The Pels 54 games under 500 during his tenure, including just 2 postseason appearances. According to our Shams Charania, Hall of Famer Joe Dumars is expected to finalize a deal to take over the day-to-day operations. That could be by week's end. Griffin's tenure was tied to Zion Williamson, whom New Orleans drafted the same season Griffin's tenure began. Zion played in just 45% of the Pels games since being taken first overall, and New Orleans has won just 100 times in the games Zion missed. In his
recovered from the Masters yet? I haven't. I'm still wearing my green. What a win by Rory McIlroy, but that wasn't the only drama of the weekend. No, it was not. The NBA regular season also came to an end, and the playoff bracket has been set, and that's exactly where we will begin today. The 2025 NBA playoffs will tip off on April 19th following the conclusion of the play-in tournament. 16 teams, 8 from each conference, as you see right there, will compete for the championships. Teams seeded in 7 through 10, though, in each of those conferences, those teams will compete in the play-in tournament to determine the final 2 playoff spots, which start tomorrow on April 15th. And with that, let's welcome in our first guest of the hour, NBA analyst for CBS Sports and co-host of the Beyond the Arc podcast, John Gonzalez. I love talking to you every Monday here, John. We just saw the bracket there. Now it's getting good, right? I feel like the last couple seasons of the NBA, we've just been trying to get to this point. But when you look at the Eastern Conference play-in teams, you got the Hawks, the Magic, the Bulls, and the Heat. Who, if any, do you think can make a deep playoff run?
Yeah, it is getting good, Katie. This isn't part of the good part, though. The Eastern Conference play-in, who can make a play-in run, playoff run, rather, from the play-in group? None of them. These are not good teams. They play in the Eastern Conference, and they're at the back end of the Eastern Conference, only by the grace of the Raptors and the Nets. And the Sixers are their worst teams in the Eastern Conference, the Hornets and the Wizards, too. The Magic can't score, put them aside. The Hawks don't play defense, despite the fact that they have Dyson Daniels. The Heat had a disastrous season, trading away Jimmy Butler and trying to empower Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo, who are very good players, but obviously not good enough to buoy the entire Heat. I'll say this. The Bulls, I hope that they get out of the play-in because at least they're fun and entertaining to watch now with Kobe White and Josh Giddey and Mattis Buzelis. They haven't been good and fun and entertaining in a while, Katie, so I guess that's a small thing in a group that's not very good.
All right, so not mincing your words here or taking into consideration the feelings of the fan bases that we just talked about. None of y'all are getting far in this one, but John, let's move to the Western Conference play-in teams. The Warriors, the Grizzlies, Mavs, and the Kings. Are any of these teams capable of making a deep run?
Several of these teams, and I think you'll be happy to hear that I like the Golden State Warriors to make a run, to get out of the play-in, to get into the playoffs proper, to do some real damage. Yes, they lost to the Clippers in overtime on the final day of the regular season. Could have made them, Katie, your Golden State Warriors, a playoff team proper. Now they got to go the long way around. That's a tough one. Jimmy got banged up. He took a knee from Kawhi Leonard. Steph has a thumb injury. It's all taped up. Curry